Okay, at this point in the course, we're going to take a little bit of a turn. We've been talking about before getting out of the office and what you need to do to set your office up, you and your office up, so that the office does not collapse like the Great Chicago Fire the minute you walk out the door. Now, I want to talk about how you handle the return when you get back from this vacation that you're having, so that you now have an office that's not on fire when you return. And if it is on fire, you're going to have some water. You're going to have the hoses lined up and the fire trucks, and you'll be ready to go. You just have a couple of things that you need to do first.
And before we get to the nitty gritty details, I thought I'd share this photo with you, which is just lovely Santorini, the Santorini Islands in Greece. This is a church in a very famous angle. It's not, it's a famous picture. I really am trying to show you all the places in the world that you could be going if you were planning and getting out of the office. But now with that distraction over, let's get back to the business of the course.
One of the first things that I'm going to suggest is something that very few people do. But I have found this to be very effective when I'm out of the office and when I'm coming back. And that is with the important people inside and outside of your office on the important projects, both internal projects and external projects. Set a meeting as soon as possible, hopefully within a week after your return to the office. You're gone for 2 weeks, but you come back on a Monday. That Thursday, you have a meeting about the big project. And the meeting is not only to discuss the progress that's been made, but also to get you back up to speed in terms of what's going on so that you can make whatever decisions you need to make. You can make sure that the project continues to move forward. The second suggestion that I have is something that really wise small business owners do. A lot of times, because they haven't taken the time to set things up before they leave, the small business owner will rush back into the office, get back on a Sunday night, and hit it Monday morning. Whew, that is a hard way to do it. What I would suggest instead is budget an extra day once you get back into town before you go into the office. Because there are really two reasons, and one is selfish and one is actually productive for the business. The selfish one is you have an extra day in town to get used to the new time zone that if you were traveling far, to sort of reacclimate yourself to your surroundings, to being back home, whatever you're going to do. But also, you have some flexibility so that if you schedule this and you tell people, I'm going to be back as of Tuesday, and you're actually back on Monday, if people hear that you're back on Monday and you've told them on Monday, they're going to call on Monday. But if you told them Tuesday and you're around on Monday, it allows you to prioritize who you deal with when you first get back into town. It is not a case where people can call you and make themselves the priority. Let me say that again. If you tell people that you are getting back the day after the day you actually have gotten back, so you come back into town on Sunday, you tell people you're going to be in on Tuesday, that Monday for you is a day that you can prioritize, where you get to determine, oh, the ABC project is the most important thing that's going on right now. I can leap on that immediately and get a full day in before I start having to deal with all the other things full bore that have been going on while I was gone. That can be a lifesaver. And you can do it in such a way that people who are on projects which you know to be less important, those people do not get offended because you are not turning to them immediately upon your return. It's a really good tactic, a way to be productive, and not enough people do this. Another thing that you can do to prepare for reentry is the people who you have assigned to cover for you while you're gone. Have them put something, preferably in writing, but maybe they leave you a voicemail or just be ready to report to you. But have them summarize what's happened on the projects that they've been assigned, on the vendors or clients or whomever that they've been assigned to cover for you while you were gone. There are two reasons for that. One, I just mentioned, and that is you can immediately prioritize based upon the written information that you have who you need to contact immediately, first, and who can wait a couple of days before they hear from you. That can be very important as you're trying to budget your time when you first arrive back in your office. The second thing is you get to evaluate the people who are preparing the reports for you. In other words, if you have 3 reports, John, Mary, and Jennifer, if John is treating everything like an emergency, at some point, John might be overreacting stuff. Mary might have the exact opposite reaction. Maybe there's a bunch of things that Mary should have known were more important than she thought they were. And then, of course, Jennifer is right in the middle, and she has a gauge that's similar to yours. So you know when Jennifer tells you this is something you need to get to right away, it's something you need to get to right away. You need to respect that. And in each of these situations, as you have your people evaluate the situations that they are covering for you, it gives you an opportunity to counsel them to improve the information and the evaluation that they are giving to you. And it allows you to better prepare them for your next vacation. You may also find it helpful to have these folks provide you the information on a 1 to 5 scale or a 1 to 10 scale, or if you really want to have like a DEF-CON scale, some scale, where they evaluate high priority, medium priority, low priority, or maybe no priority. You choose. Whatever you're comfortable with. But again, have something that's concrete so that you can look at it, make a quick decision like triage, and then put it in the right bin in terms of when you're going to get to it so that you know what's in front of you very quickly. Particularly if you've been gone for a week or two, there may be a number of things that seem important, and you're going to need somebody who's actually been on the ground watching these things to help you evaluate where they belong in order to make sure that you're responding to things in an effective and efficient manner.
So each of those ideas, if you implement them, you'll be able to get back into the office and have a plan. And that plan is something that you should be working on before you leave. Remember, as we discussed before, perfection's really not the standard. So to the extent that you can't fully implement this across all the people that you work with, across all the projects that you have, that's okay, because every inch matters. Every time, every manner in which you can implement this type of thinking, your efficiency and your productivity will improve. And more importantly, your office overall will have a more productive outlook, and the opportunities will only grow from there if you implement these ideas. See you in the next module. Now we're going to start talking about other hardcore things that you can do to improve your effectiveness. I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks.